Hello, and are we live? Welcome
We,
to Four-ish Horsemen O'Clock. We're your hosts. I'm George. This is Jeremy in a very empty room.
that was so unenthusiastic. You sounded so soft-spoken there.
I did. It's the microphone's problem, not mine. Let me see. I don't like where this camera's looking.
Why? You can't see enough Gaspar sausage or something?
Well, for me to look at the screen, I'm completely ignoring the people at home. All right. Well, for now, I'll look directly at you and not know what's going on.
That sounds like a plan. How you doing today, George?
Good. We're live, Diego. It's 4-ish o'clock. Get out onto your camera. Good. We're back from a show. We are rested and recovered, kind of.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
While we were away, I was checking email thinking that I would be able to get back and it wouldn't be too bad. But I deferred so many actual pieces of work until when we return that the last few days have been absolutely crazy just trying to catch up. Plus, there's just so much going on right now. But I feel like I'm making some headway, so I'm feeling good.
Good. A weekend.
Hello and welcome to Four-ish Horsemen O'Clock.
You can't just bust in like that. It's not, we need to play the shipping update.
I'm your host, Diego. This is Jeremy. And, of course, we've got our one and only...
Don't do it.
Our special guest, George Gaspar.
It's supposed to be a better show when Chris isn't here.
Seriously.
Listen, I have to bring some of the traditional energy to this.
How do I get to the chat in the studio here?
You have to actually log in. I sent you a guest link, so.
Oh, you son of a... I am just a guest after all, Diego. You were right.
A special guest.
Diego, do you want to start us off with a shipping update?
Whoa, a shipping update. Sure. Let's do that. All right, shipping update.
Oh. Whoops.
Oh.
What was that?
Play this.
This is an important Four Horsemen shipping update with Diego.
Oh, I like that you cut it short. Like, we didn't need to go through the whole, yeah.
I just really like the beginning of it.
So shipping update. We are shipping out Necro to all of you. We just got 2 packs in today, so we're starting to pack those up and get those out. And we're chugging along. So keep an eye on your email. You'll get tracking emails once they leave the studio. And we're hoping to be wrapped up by the end of the month, but I don't make any concrete promises, but that's what we're aiming for.
I will say that we've gotten a lot of questions about retailer street date. We have a tentative date. The reason we haven't announced it and locked it in stone yet is just because we want to make sure that we've got everything in, that we've got it out to retailers. It is before the end of the month, so we're hoping to be able to announce that soon. But clearly, if you have not pre-ordered Necronominus from retailers, some of them are starting to sell out of these figures, so you definitely want to get that pre-order in because they're going to be shipping soon.
Most definitely. And I got to say, now that Necro, I've seen it in hand, I've gotten to play with them. Mm-hmm. Guys, don't sleep on this. If there's approved retailers that still have stock, get it while you can because the news is traveling fast and people are going to scoop these up.
George, people are asking if our flights got canceled because of snow. No, both of us, we made it home fine. It was like a gut punch when I walked off the plane and felt New England weather again.
It was more of a gut punch when I was riding the plane, sitting a seat away from the homeless kid with the urine smell.
And with no TV.
And no TV or plugs for your phone. That was a great flight. Thanks, United.
I was on JetBlue. It was a fabulous experience. It was a very nice young lady seated right next to me that just was focused on her phone the entire time, so she didn't talk or look at me or anything. I was nice and private.
That's the best.
I had a television screen. I got to watch 2/3 of Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. Good.
That's
stuff.
the movie you chose out of all the movies on the plane. You chose to watch one that you knew you wouldn't be able to finish because the flight's not long enough.
So, do you know what I watched on the way to Orlando?
Fellowship of the Ring.
2/3 of the Two Towers.
Wow. All right. Well, we have different priorities when we watch movies on planes, you and I.
There was nothing that I hadn't seen that looked even remotely interesting. So that was
I watched Saturday Night on the way out. It was awesome.
So I do want to point out that there's a section of StreamYard that we use for all of our media assets. And when I first set this up, I had like intro, outro, and then we had the 4-H intro. Now I'm going to read the file names in here. Besides, Look Back, Special Guest, The Scoop, Gaspar's Intro, Boom Diego, Van, Jordan, Insurance, Sausage Tasting, Sausage Intro, Van G times X, Jordan, PGG Road to 1,000. Those are our media assets.
Are you sure you're not logged into Purple Gang Gang's folder? Because
one would think.
I can verify. I'm looking at them too, and yeah, I don't even remember what half these videos are.
Apparently, all we play are Purple Gang Gang videos.
That's it.
Speaking of which, we have a video to play today because since Jeremy went against my wishes and kept the streak alive last week, let's go ahead and just keep the streak alive this week.
You want me to do that right now?
Yeah, right off the bat. Let's get this thing over with so we can talk about MegaCon.
Okay, let me find this video. So now you told me I was not allowed to view this in advance. So everyone who's watching this, I don't know what we're getting ourselves into, but there we go.
Oh, my streak remains alive. It is 15 days until my 49th birthday. And that's right, you guessed correctly. 380 days until my 50th birthday. You can send me cards and gifts, and I will open them live on 4 o'clock to bring you and your family great honor by giving me the best gifts. I am stuck in a desert, that is correct. I have been hunting this man who has stole my Jesus last year at SoloCon. I am close on his trail. He will regret stealing my Jesus. Ha ha ha! What is that coming over the horizon? Whoa! Chris, you gotta wake up and get back to work. Stop having these crazy Jedi dreams out in the desert. You've got work to do, man. Get a hold of yourself.
George Gaspar sausage is the girthiest around. Spicy and delicious, the best that can be found. Put them in around your mouth, you'll see. George Gaspar sausage is the taste of victory. Girthy sausages packed with spicy flair. One bite and you'll be floating on air. Juicy and bold with every single bite. George Gaspar sausages, day or night.
I think the butt shake's my favorite part of that video. So as you could tell, that was a Purple Gang Gang produced video.
On the fly. That was a short order video.
So did he get a Jesus stolen from ZoloCon last year?
No, but a guy was going through his box of stuff at the hotel. It wasn't actually stolen.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was. that was Chris's. The streak is continued, I guess. Does that count?
I think so.
I mean, that was
Like,
him in
I
the
don't know,
desert.
There's an asterisk. It's like in the Olympics when like something kind of gets funky when you win the medal and they have to put an asterisk next to your name.
Yeah,
It's like you still got the streak, but
but there's an
debatable.
asterisk. Okay, I'll allow that.
Okay. George, do you want to talk a little bit about where we were this past weekend?
Yeah, we were at MegaCon Orlando, Florida, with Slap Happy Toys. There it is, Slap Happy Toys, right there.
Yeah. We stood in front of that really bright sign for quite a bit of the con.
Yeah, it doesn't look that bad when you have a picture of it like that, but man, when you're standing there, it is glowing in your face.
Yep.
It is a heavy sign to glow right in your face. But yeah, it's as you can see from that booth setup, tons of cosmic, tons of mythic, some figure obscura mixed in for good measure, and then a bunch of other stuff from all over the place. And man, it was that booth was busy.
Yeah.
That booth has got a lot of dudes working it, and it's also a very packed convention. Jeremy, this is your second. How do you think this crowd was from the first to the second? Same amount of busyness?
Yeah, you get to a point where it's so many people that I think they technically said they had more attendees this year than last year, but you get to a point that it's so busy you don't even notice. Like last year, Thursday was the short day. It was like 2 to 9. So Thursday's not bad at all. Friday gets considerably busier. Saturday is just crazy, crazy packed. I mean, we went to go try to get some lunch in the food area on Saturday and didn't even want to attempt it. We just turned around and like left the building to go find something elsewhere because it was so packed.
Do you have I sent you a couple of pictures. Do you have the picture of the empty? There you go. So on the first day on Thursday, Jeremy, we go over what you could see in the background of this photo are those little tiny like colored pieces. Those are where you buy the food. So Jeremy goes, take a picture of this because this entire thing fills up. And I was thinking like, all right, the tables get, there's people sitting at the tables, like everything, whatever. I was thinking, okay, this is a lot of tables. There's like thousands of seats here. I was like, all right, it's gonna fill up. I get it. To go to the next shot.
Well, before I go to the next shot, do you want to tell people what this little booth is right here?
You're acting like I could see what that booth is.
That's Four Rivers Barbecue.
Oh, is that my pork? What did I get? Pork barbecue, basically.
Pulled pork, no bun, add potato sticks.
Yes. No sauce. It was a dry meal, but I ate it every day at least. It was a safe gluten-free food that I knew was going to be safe, so I just ate that every day.
It's much better if you add sauce, keep the potato sticks, add some peppers, and put it on a bun. It's a much better meal.
I would imagine, yeah, pretty much anything is.
So this was the lunchroom empty. This is on Saturday.
Now, I like when you say it's going to fill up, I didn't know like not only are every table going to be filled, but every space around every table, every hallway around every space. Yeah, I mean, just flip back and forth and it blows your mind. Like that to that, that to that. And now keep in mind, that's one corner of this, like that's just a little corner of the convention. And that takes nothing away from everyone else walking around. Like somehow that's full and so is everything else.
Yeah, getting into this area is like brutally hard. There's so many people just kind of funneling into this spot.
Yeah, it is like an insane convention, like nothing I've been to. And I was a vendor at San Diego Comic-Con for 16 years, and Comic-Con has nothing on this as far as like the insanity inside. Like Comic-Con is crazy inside, but this is like a whole different kind of like thing. Like most of the cosplay at Comic-Con stays outside.
Yep.
They stay to the lobby. They don't really walk around all that much. Like there are, there's some you'll see like fat Wolverines and stuff like that, but like most of the time, like the cosplay stays outside. I would say if it's not 50-50, it's 60-40 in favor of cosplay walking around inside. Like everybody's dressed up.
Everybody. I think it might be more than that. There are so many people dressed up in every kind of outfit you can remember, every kind of cosplay, like some super deep cuts. We were walking around the Star Wars area and there was a group of characters dressed like the aliens from Galaxy Quest. And they were like super, super in character. Like people weren't even like necessarily looking at them and they were walking around doing their thing and doing their laugh. I mean, many just deep cut type cosplays.
I mean, we saw the guy, like two people dressed up as Jaden Smith from the Grammys like 2 days ago. Yep. It was, it was a fast turnaround on that cosplay.
Yeah, very fast. So speaking of cosplay, I do have some pictures that you sent me of some cosplay. So I'm just going to advance them and you can kind of talk about why you took these photos.
Sure. This one was great because it was a family of pirates and then Spider-Ham. like I don't know if the kid didn't get the memo from the parents, but like all the rest of them were going as pirates.
I love that. Okay. I was wondering when you sent me this. And I do notice that this photo is right in front of the autograph booth. Keep that in mind. We're going to come back to the autograph booth after. Here's the next one.
I mean, it's pretty evident why I took that picture. I don't think any explanations needed.
Yeah, George loves Winnie the Pooh.
Pooh Bros.
Yeah. 100 Acre Wood.
Next. All right, this guy, any piece of fabric. I'm surprised the bag wasn't really covered, but every piece of fabric he had was Nicolas Cage's face. He's got Nicolas Cage masks on his shoes, Nick Cage socks, Nick Cage pants, shirt, medallion, hat, oven mitts hanging from his belt. He's got a Nick Cage face blanket wrapped around like a cape, and on his little oven mitt, he had Nick Cage face pickles.
Dude, that guy's a national treasure.
This guy's the best.
It's kind of regrettable the way that like Nick Cage is like riding up into his like crotchular reason.
Regrettable or great?
I wonder how he looks with the face off.
You don't want to take that guy's face off. Hey, it's Cookie.
It's Cookie.
So this is one that I took actually. So this was a game that George and I played at MegaCon. So we were talking on, I think it was Saturday. So keep in mind, the show is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're halfway through the show and we're talking, and I mentioned the show Arcane, and George says he's never heard of it. So I explained it a little bit, and I said, well, if you see the character Jinx, you will know who Jinx is. You'll have seen that character before. So a little while later, a cosplayer dressed like Jinx walks by. If you didn't know, that is the character in this photo. George says, I've never seen that character before. So I proceeded to point out every single Jinx cosplay that walked by. And we ended up doing this all day Saturday until we left halfway through on Sunday. We set the over-under at 25 to see if we could get to 25 Jinx cosplays. George, do you remember where we landed?
I'm pretty sure we hit 34.
30, I believe it was 33, but
33, yeah, 33.
I think it was 33, including the elusive double Jinx.
We did get but actually it was 33 and a half, if you remember correctly, because we did have the lady with the Jinx shirt on during the double Jinx.
That's right. That is right. So that was funny, and that shows you just how much cosplay there is. The fact that we saw through half the show, less than half the show, 33 different people wearing Jinx cosplays. I think
We
the
thought
only
at one point when we got to like 20, we were like, damn, we should have taken a picture with each one of these.
yes.
Because how amazing would it have been to have like 20 pictures? And then we got to 33 and we were like, fine. And then I think this was number 33 because Jeremy was like, hey, can we get a picture with you? Because we need this for the show.
I think the only cosplays I saw more than Jinx were Spider-Man and Deadpool.
Yeah, definitely.
And one of my favorite cosplays was Deadpool as Jafar.
That was funny.
That was weird.
Yeah. Definitely I think Spider-Man probably had to be number one.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, so in addition to cosplayers, we also got a chance to hang out with and meet lots of existing Legions fans, meet lots of new fans. This is one of the photos that you sent me. This is not only the two of us, Jim was there as well this weekend. And this was us actually hanging out with Brian. Congratulations to Brian and his wife on their wedding. They came by, they spent part of their honeymoon apparently at MegaCon and got to come down and see us.
I think that's a terrible way to spend a honeymoon, but whatever you want to do.
Hey,
I took this one because if anyone's been here for intern day, you may have seen on our wall we have a little plaque with a bunch of wanted posters, and this is the guy that made those.
Yep, Brian Peacock. Yep.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. It's hanging right outside my office.
So, I'm gonna go through some other photos that I added here. In addition to being at the show, they also had a really fun Mythic meetup on Saturday night at, I believe it was Cava's Tacos. So this was us hanging out with Aaron and his wife at Cava's Tacos. This was afterwards where we took a picture.
I thought it was funny during that. Like Aaron's wife, she was sitting next to him at first, like in between him and his buddy.
Yeah.
And then immediately got up and moved like 2 seats down. She made the right call.
Yeah.
Like to get away from having to talk to the two of us was definitely the right move.
For sure. Yeah. She moved so she could have more of a adult conversation. And this is the group. So kind of the center table. And this was a weird restaurant because it was crazy loud. At one point in the front of the restaurant, a young lady came up and started like twirling balls of fire.
Yeah,
and then
I'm not really sure why that happened.
Just like an extended performance of fire dancing. And approximately every 7 minutes, it was someone's birthday. And they came out and sang really loud with like giant sparklers.
But at least it was really loud.
It was loud. But the food was good.
The food was excellent.
George ordered 2 bowls of chips and a bunch of cheese.
You know what I didn't know is those chips, they weren't free.
Really?
Chris paid for all those chips, so thank you. I didn't realize that.
Thank you very much, Chris, because we ate a lot of chips.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that I shouldn't have overdone it on the chips. I regret the chips.
You ate so many chips that by the time your Casey Barrow came, you couldn't eat it.
Yeah, it was definitely the wrong move.
But
delicious.
You barely could eat it. But when we got back to the hotel, you still found a
Why
way
you
to
throw me under the bus like this?
You still found a way to eat a Snickers ice cream bar.
Well, there's always room for Snickers.
Whoa, Snickers.
There's vacation.
Somebody's
tours
eating sugar.
coming in.
I will also point out that this was on Saturday. On Friday, George also had a Snickers ice cream bar that I shared. I was going to say I shared with him, but we didn't share one. We each had our own.
You shared the moment.
Exactly.
Shared the moment.
Wow.
Last photo that I have from the event is a photo. George I need you to explain this photo because it clearly looks like you're having fun in this photo, despite what your shirt says.
Well, what you don't see is my shirt says George loves fun.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
then you're on point because you clearly looked like you were having a good time.
You don't in the picture though, so maybe we need to make a Jeremy hates fun shirt.
I look very serious there.
Do you have the picture of you denying Purple Gang Gang in here? Because
I do not. I couldn't find it. I was scrambling to put this together before the show. I did also grab a couple photos to show that Chris was working this weekend as well. So
was he?
He was. Chris was in Japan for Wonder Festival. You talked about that last week, George, but we got a couple photos of Chris here. These were a few different Cabal members that apparently were in Japan and went to go see Chris and Four Horsemen Studios and D13 over at the booth. You will notice that he's geared up in D13 here.
Of course. Why would he wear a Four Horsemen shirt?
That's so unlike him. That's so strange. Wow.
And then here we go. Here he is behind the table, proving that he was at least behind the table for the duration of this photograph.
And that's probably all.
That's probably about it. So that's what I've got, George.
Look at his nice little paper towel displays they got there.
Yeah, for real.
Well, you said this is just a one-day show, so it's kind
They
of
don't have black tablecloths in Japan.
No, dude, they're against the law. Everybody knows that.
That kind of looks like the kind of cloth that the Jesus people would put on. I said
the turn
Jesus people?
shroud. Like,
I meant like
just call it a shroud. This is called a shroud. Dig yourself out of the hole. Just call it a shroud.
A shroud, like Joseph and the shepherds would wear.
Yeah, like a cowl of some sort.
Yeah, it looks like that kind of material. That's what I meant. Darn it.
They just put their luggage down and put a towel over it and put some figures on. That's what it looks like.
Now I'm embarrassed. I just said Jesus people.
You said it, not me. So back to MegaCon. I got this.
What's
Yes.
that?
So tell us about that. We said we were going to talk about the autographs. I'm going to solo layout you. Tell us about that.
Bam! That is Christopher Lloyd.
Whoa.
As Dr. Emmett Brown in Back to the Future 3. You don't need to solo me on that one anymore. So across the way from us was an autograph booth where they sold tons of autographs. Now this show, MegaCon in general, is, I would call it a celebrity show where there's also some booths for you to look at while you're waiting for autographs. Because it's really what that whole show is about. It's all about getting autographs and getting photographs with your favorite celebrity. And then, oh, by the way, there's some toys and collectibles and comic books and art over to the side. I would say it's mostly about autographs, though, I would think.
It's a huge part.
So that being said, I was like, I want to get an autograph while I'm here. I got to get something. I made the joke leading up to it that I was going to get DJ Qualls. What I didn't know is you really needed to bring cash for autographs, and I didn't have any cash with me. Had I had cash, I would have just spent $40 and got DJ Qualls. Instead, I saw this Doc Brown, and I asked it was the guy had it on sale. I did the math of what an autograph costs for a celebrity of that stature, and I thought to myself, all right, this is framed nicely. It's got the plaque. It's got the whole thing. Certificate of authenticity, so it's legit. I have actually done the autograph signing with Doc Brown before for a friend of mine. I stayed with him in line while we went and did it. So I took a picture with Christopher Lloyd before, and my friend got the autograph. I just was in the picture. So I don't have the autograph from that time I did it. So I figured, let me see if he'll take X amount. He said yes. I paid X amount. I walked out of the booth going, why did I do that?
Immediately.
I regretted it as my card was sliding on the payment. But by then it was too late to turn back. I then had to carry this giant thing on the plane with me. Luckily, it fit at an angle under my seat, and or in the seat in front of me, and it's now here, and it's fine.
Because you thought it was going to fit in your carry-on, and it very clearly did not.
I was really hoping, but yeah, it was about this much too wide for a carry-on. But it was fine. It worked out in the end, and like it only slightly smells of urine now, but it's fine. I can't stress enough how much that kid smelled of urine. Really stings the nostrils.
Very pungent.
For 3 hours.
Okay.
You know, I just got a text from Chris. So Chris is awake right now.
He is. I hope he's tuning in live.
I just, you know what? I had to be nice, and I said, "Do you know what time it is right now?"
Well, it's too late.
Is he logging in?
Is he what?
Is he logging in?
I don't know. I just texted him that. I don't know if he's seen it yet. So.
There's Jeremy turning down the Purple Heart.
That was a misunderstanding.
Was it? Because it seemed like you understood pretty well what you were doing.
First off, I already have one.
Okay.
I didn't want to take another one and deprive somebody else of getting the Purple Heart.
I think what you meant to say was you're only contractually obligated to have one in your collection.
That's one way you could read it.
All right. Well, I don't think if Chris is going to try and tune in, I think we don't let him.
There is like another thing we could talk about,
What
which
would that
is
be?
the latest reveal for the retailer wave.
We could do that. Yeah. So
that sounds like stuff that happens on Jeremy's show.
Yes, but my show is streaming to both my Mythic Customs channel and right here on the Four Horsemen channel tonight. So we're going to do double streaming tonight. So I'm going to be on with Lord Stephen Bishotti, the Alpha, and we're going to talk not only about the Necronominous wave in hand and some first impressions, but we're going to talk all about the 2025 retailer wave, the final reveal, which was done today. That's that new Mythic Legions Vernalis Arden Scale figure.
What words did you just say?
Or
That's the first time I'm hearing whatever that is.
Vernalis Arden Scale, the Green Snake Man, the Druid.
Vernalis. Vern got a tribute figure? Sweet. Cool minivan scale. What was it?
Vernalis Arden Scale. Here, look, it's this.
Vernalis Arden Scale. All right. Cool. Vern's got a tribute figure. I love it. No, it's not an official Vern tribute figure? Okay, fine. No one's saying anything, so I guess I have to drop that.
I mean, I don't know for sure. It could be.
I mean,
I saw the name for the first time today too, and I was like, "Is this a Vern tribute figure? What's going on?"
I mean, he's kind of a crunchy hippie that like can magically conjure animals.
Vern is a crunchy hippie these days.
Does that sound like Vern?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Okay. Heard it here first. We've got a new Vern tribute figure. He's a crunchy hippie.
Vernalis Arden Scale. Where did that name come from? I'll let you talk about it on your show tonight. You don't have to answer that here. That sounds like too serious of a question.
You asked the question and then immediately realized you didn't care.
And Arduino Super Green?
Verdant, you know.
But yeah, no, the reaction so far to the retailer wave has been really, really good. You know, the doing second versions of the figure, obscura figures, that's pretty expected. People, you know, after what we did last year, I'm sure they expected that to happen. A lot of people were hoping there would be a mythic and a cosmic like there were last year, and there were. And those two figures, the reaction to those have been really, really good. That cosmic drop yesterday of the Tusk Phantom Trooper, that's been a very popular one. And so far, at least based on our Instagram likes, actually the Frankenstein's monster figure is the one that seems to have gotten the most love.
Wow. I know I've gotten texts from people and messages for almost all of these figures saying how cool they are. So
I have gotten messages from Matt Stein for every single one of these figures. It's something I look forward to every morning after the reveal. I wait for Matt to wake up so he can message me and tell me that he likes it. It's a nice little bit of validation. I got to be honest, it's a nice little bit of validation. I enjoy it.
Before we leave MegaCon all completely, did you buy anything, Jeremy, that you want to show on the show?
Not particularly. So I did buy the Mezco. So Mezco was at the show for the first time. They haven't done it in the past. This was actually the first time I've ever seen a Mezco booth in person. And a bunch of my friends were working the booth, including D Amazing. So it was great. We got to spend some time with D, just chatting and talking about toys, catching up and everything. And I was able to purchase the Biker Gomez figure from the Mezco booth, which was in far too large a box that I could realistically bring it in my carry-on. So I opened up, I actually got one for myself and one for Cornboy. Bringing those home was a bit of a challenge, but I made it work.
Did you bring home Cornboys too?
I did, because George's bag was so full, so I didn't want to bug him to bring it. But I'm going to be at the studio in a couple weeks for Zolo, so I'll just bring it then.
Makes sense.
And then I bought a Doctor Who sweatshirt for my wife.
I got a couple things. I broke the wallet seal for $1. So you gotta jump in and just kind of start with something. So I got this old 1985, right, 85 or 86 Hot Wheels car, nice chromed out.
Oh.
What are those robots called? The Rock'em Sock'em robots. Little chromed out Rock'em Sock'em robot Hot Wheels car from 1985. Then I spent $3 and got this guy. Just to have a nice little translucent dude. I have no idea what he is.
It's a bargain because you found one for $8 later in the con.
From the exact same people. This one, I don't know why this one was for $3 and the other one was $8. I got this from Humpty. He was over with what's the Bits and Pieces or something like that? What's the name of that?
Bits and Buttons.
Bits and Buttons. Humpty was at their booth selling all these 3D printed thingies. He gave me one of these guys.
Too bad he didn't give you the 3D printed Iron Giant.
I know, that thing was amazing. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw that. And then I got for myself Bottle and Cappy.
That's such a George toy.
That's what I thought when I saw it. I was like, oh, I gotta have that. And this is like a translucent, like clear soda in there. Like it's like see-through. It's rad. There was a whole like Fallout booth with like
awesome
all the different stuff in there. So yeah, this thing I couldn't pass this thing up. I had to.
And that booth was
made for my office.
That booth was so well put together. Like it was so themed, where it was almost like it had felt like you were walking into like an old saloon or something with like a wooden door, and everything was had big Fallout signs and stuff. It was good.
Yeah, rad. Still can't tell that that's translucent, but it really is. Believe me. But yeah, that's definitely like made for this office for sure. And that bottle's kind of like a little rocket ship too. It's kind of neat. I think that's pretty much it. And then it's just a bunch of like stickers and just stickers and stuff.
Any Purple Hearts?
Any what?
Any
Dave's
Purple Hearts?
cool, you fucking douche. Got this thing from the Dave School. Little 3D printed ice cream.
Also very on brand for George.
Yeah, that
Uh-oh.
works. No.
No.
No. How did you get in here? No.
Why are you silent?
So tired.
It is 4 a.m. for you.
6 a.m.
Whatever.
Answer your emails.
No. I'm
That's
too
the only reason Diego
busy.
let you in, is so he could yell at you for not answering the emails. You're
Too
supposed to be
busy.
working.
No, I'm busy. Leave me alone. I'm on vacation. Streak
Are you on-
continues.
Are you hungover?
Actually, no. I'm just tired. I probably walked like 50,000 steps yesterday.
Well, not far enough for our taste.
You know what, George? I would walk 1,000 miles.
He just erased the asterisk, Diego.
I just
don't
was
like
going to
it.
say that. The asterisk is going.
You'll have to watch back. You already made an appearance on this video, Chris.
Okay. What about last?
Even Joe's coming for you, Chris.
Answer the texts.
I did.
Answer them better.
I'm not making any promises. Not until Saturday when I'm in China.
Well, get to China already.
At least answer mine, because it's very time sensitive.
Oh.
And Jeremy can agree because he knows what it's
Yes.
about.
Yes. Answer.
Email or text?
What?
Email.
Answer your email or text.
The thing that I just texted you about.
Oh, didn't I? Okay, I don't know. I thought I just whatever.
All right,
Actually,
this is
gonna go out.
riveting. This is as good as when he's on the show.
You're getting 100% right now.
This is some behind the scenes content into the actual running of a toy company where we yell at Chris to do things.
Yelling at me only makes me work slower.
No,
Chris,
no.
what's the coolest thing you got at Winterfest?
What's that?
What's the coolest thing you bought at Winterfest?
A glow in the dark James Groman statue thingy.
Go
Does it
get it.
actually
It's
glow in
dark
the
where
dark?
you are, so it should glow.
It has not been in the light. It won't glow.
You went all the way to Japan and you bought a James Groman thing, which you could get here. In the United States.
It did. It was there. It was calling my name. I can't help it. I'm sorry. And actually, the coolest thing I got was a pen holder, but I can't show it.
Oh, goodness.
You're not supposed to stick your pen in there.
What a hell of a show. Can we go back in summer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you heard it here, folks. Summer Wonder Festival.
It's definitely not called Winterfest then.
Yeah.
You can send me to any of them. I'll go to winter, summer, fall, spring.
So George, we really got to figure out how I can work remotely out of Japan.
I'm telling you, just stay. We'll figure it out.
All right, you heard it
I
here,
mean,
folks.
thus far you've proven you can't.
You know what? I'll find a way. Life finds a way.
If you'll start answering emails, then we can make it happen. If you're not
Yeah.
going to answer emails, you have to come back.
All right. Once my vacation's over, I'll answer emails. My once every 5-year vacation.
Look, next time, take your vacation while the factory's actually gone. They're there. They're back. They're working.
Well,
We
that's
need
the whole
answers.
thing. They weren't really supposed to be doing much this week.
They said 9th, and now you're not there, and it's the 12th.
Well, listen. They love you, baby.
All right, let's end the show. It's terrible.
Can we end the show?
Are we done?
Yeah, I think
Are
so.
Yeah, tune in later tonight for Jeremy's show when you get real information again.
I'm not
Yep.
doing it.
It'll be streaming on this channel and my own. See everybody then.
No, I'm coming back.
Don't come